All right, so we're gonna go over real quick your background and your skills. Now, if you remember, in the last video, we had you do the value add worksheet, and that was just you exploring your skill sets, people you know in the car industry that can do different things on a vehicle for you. So hopefully that gave you a really good idea of where you're at and what you can do on a vehicle when you're flipping it. Now remember, you don't need to know a lot about cars. You don't need to be a mechanic level. You don't even need to be, the guy that works on the car in your driveway. It's okay. When I first started doing this, I didn't even know the difference between an engine and a transmission. So that's how inexperienced I was. I was fresh out of high school. I didn't know anything about cars. I didn't even know you're supposed to change oil in your car. So I mean that's how far gone. I grew up in a single mom household. Didn't have anybody to teach me about cars. So I just I got into car flipping because I sold a scooter, made a little bit, bought a motorcycle, made a little bit, and then I decided I would try cars, and I got creamed on my first deal. First deal I bought, I spent $2,500 on this like 97 Accord, and it was a 5-speed, and it had like 200,000 miles. I didn't know what I was doing, but wound up having a bad engine, so I had to sell it for like $500. I lost $2,000 on my first car flip. So if you think that you need to be an expert at cars, just take that to heart and know that that is not the case. I am a retard and I still made it. So you are on a much better starting point than I was. So you don't need to know a lot about cars. You just need to minimize your risks and know your local market well. So that's one of our action items for pretty much every week is know your market every single day, research, know the prices, and especially the $1,000 to $3,000 price range if you're a complete beginner. If you are pretty experienced, I would say the $2,000 to $4,000 price range. Let's get into a little whiteboard action here. So $1,000 to $3,000 at most if you're inexperienced and you follow the process well. Now, if you have some experience, if you've done this, you know your way around the block. I would say really learn the market from $2,000 to $4,000. $5,000 if you're like really. But the reason we say 2 to 4 is because the average American can't save more than $4,000. Actually, 80% of Americans can't save more than $500. But your ideal customer is going to have $4,000 or less, and that's the price range where all the cars at that price and under are very sketchy. Most of them are turds, and the reason I recommend the inexperienced guys to go from $1,000 to $3,000 is to minimize your risk. Because if you spend $1,000 on a car, you can't lose $2,000. It's just mathematically impossible unless you pay somebody an extra $1,000 to take a car at whatever. But you see what I mean. So this is what you're going to be working with. $1,000 to $3,000, $2,000 to $4,000. Know that market like the back of your hand. Every single day you should be researching, looking up the vehicles. You should be seeing what's out there, and you should really know it. Remember, we're not using Blue Book value here. We are using market value because based on your market, you're going to know what price range to provide the best deals at. And it changes with each city and area and state and whatnot.